Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Debbie Eno from Teacher Success Coach. And the last time I came live, I think was last week or the week before last. Okay, I've been teaching online because when we've all gone back in this new academic year, most of us have actually gone back teaching online. It is challenging, I know, but at the same time, we need to put things in perspective because as educators, we are learning a lot on the online platform. I have learned so much on this online platform. It is challenging. I've had my time when I feel really frustrated, but then I have to look at it in the whole scheme of things and remind myself that as an educator in the physical classroom, I didn't have this challenge. So therefore, I need to see this new challenge, not so much as a challenge, but as a learning journey. And the only time I'm beginning to see it as a learning journey, I need to change my mindset, which I've been doing. So as a result of that, I've learned a lot in terms of how to save things from the server into my memory stick, etc. Some people might think, oh yes, this is simple. For some people it's simple. For me, it wasn't simple. So I've actually learned that. And as educators, I hear you, I understand you, I feel your pain, I'm journeying through your pain. However, we cannot be stuck in those pain. We need to see the positive from everything we experience in every day. Yes, there's sometimes it take a toll on our mental health in terms of the stress factor. I understand that, but we need to make sure that we do not allow it. We need to be the one controlling what happens because we do have some level of control in how we actually respond to the situation which we are now in. I've just had 2 lessons with my students. Oh my goodness. Last week was painful. This week is less painful because I think they're beginning to understand the way I teach and I'm beginning to understand them. I said to them, I understand that you guys are shy, that you're not used to educators saying to you that you need to write in the chat, but we need to have a dialogue. Teaching is a dialogue, not you sponging off me, but we actually coming together in a partnership. And this is something I'm constantly saying to my students. I spend all morning reminding them that I am not here to talk at you. I'm here so that we could actually have an exchange of information. It doesn't matter if your answer is wrong. That's not what I'm concerned about. My concern is you stepping out of your comfort zone and starting it. And I must say, it's beginning to feel much easier this week. And I could actually say that it's much more enjoyable because I'm beginning to find a way to use the online platform to fully express myself because I'm one of these educators who teach with the body, i.e. my hands are going, my body is moving, and that was something I found it challenging on the online platform. But then I thought, okay, I'm going to still engage in my classical music and I'm going to engage with, using my hands and my body because they could see me, but I cannot see them because they have the cameras off. So I think when students are able to see us, they're much more engaging with us because they could see our expression and they could hear our expression, and I'm hoping that they could feel it. So the second part of my lesson this morning was a little bit more connecting because I'm constantly reminding them that you are not a sponge that you're sapping information from me. We are having a dialogue, so we need to connect. And on those bases, I feel that the students are beginning to embrace that. As educators, we cannot allow the online platform to control us. We need to take control of the online platform. I hear you. I know it's painful. I know it's challenging. We need to find whatever tools we have in our toolbox to use it to navigate the online platform and to take control of the online platform in the same way we were taking control of our classroom. We need to do that, or else we're going to find it extremely challenging and very, very painful. and it will increase our anxiety and our stress level. We do not want that to happen. Because when our stress level is increased, it also means as an educator, we're not able to give of our best because we are not performing. So as educators, we need to find a way to control or to take stock. I'm not too sure if I could use the word control, but educators, I'm sure you understand what I mean. To be in control of the online platform, the same way we were in control of our classroom. However, we need not make it so obsessed, because I keep on using that on all my platforms, saying that as educators, we are control obsessed. In the classroom, we so controlling, we control where everything is, we control how what goes on in our classroom. But when we come onto the online platform, we don't have any control over that. So as a result of that, we begin to become very, very stressful. But educators, what I want to say to you is take back your power. You own your classroom. When I say own, I mean while you're there, you own your classroom. You were walking up and down your classroom. You knew where things were. You know how to navigate it, etc. I feel we should try to do the same thing on the online platform. And I must say, I'm beginning to feel that as if I am in more control of the online platform. And it begins to feel good. And it begins to make me feel more as an educator than just talking at the screen. Because the more you encourage your student to type in the chat or verbally communicate with you, the more they are going to enjoy the lesson and you're going to enjoy the lesson. And as educators, I do feel that we need to start finding alternative tools to navigate the online platform. So what in terms of classical music, I could still use that. I'm using stretching and during the session, if I have a 45-minute session, I'll say to the student halfway through, okay, take a 5 minutes break, because I feel that the brain needs that 5 minutes break so that they would come back. Yes, it's 5 minutes. You might feel that you're losing 5 minutes of the lesson, but you're not, because when they come back, you have your student, the memory is quite sharp again. So therefore you have them understanding or tapping more into what you're teaching. So those are the things, educators, I want to leave you with. Yes, it's painful. Yes, it's stressful, but we cannot allow the stress to consume us. Nor can we allow the pain of what we perceive as pain on the online platform to control us either. We need to find ways of navigating. One of my daily word for today. Oh my goodness, my mind's going. My daily word for today is looking at importance. Especially now, especially around this time, we need to start having things in priority, what we see as important. And for me, what is important is the well-being of my students are far more important than the academic ability of my students. So we need to start putting in things in perspective, because some people are so consumed by material things that they're losing focus of what is important. And what is important is other human beings. What is important is we tapping into our student to see how they are in terms of their well-being, to see what they were doing over the weekend, to see, how they were in terms of, were you out in the snow? In the UK, over the weekend, we had snow. So were you out in the snow? How did that feel for you? What did you feel, what actually turn up for you when you actually went out in the snow, if you did go out in the snow? If you did not go out in the snow, why didn't you go out in the snow? It's like tapping into our students, and those things are far more important than the academic, because I keep saying the academic, we could always get them to catch up, but once we have a broken student, it's so much more difficult to fix broken things. So those are the things we need to have in our mind, what is important, and look at it in terms of our priority. Because we need to realize that human beings are much more important than the material things that we all trying to running after the shiny objects, as some people say. The more we have, the more we get, the more we want. We need to start looking at importance of human beings. Those are the thoughts I want to leave you with. So you need to look at what is important to you as an individual and as an educator. The well-being of your student is far more important than the grades. If your students have not turned up to your lessons online, why haven't they turned up? What are the issues? So instead of telling them off for not turning up, you need to have a dialogue and find out, why aren't you not turning up? What are the issues? Because for some students, could be they find it daunting on the online platform, although they've been there before, because this is the second time. But I feel this second time on the online platform is a little bit more intense for me. You know, second time around, it should be easier. Yes, one aspect is easier, but on the other aspect is we are much more full on now than we were when we first had the lockdown. So that's some of the things I'm looking at, and that's some of the things I'm finding. So educators, if your students have not turned up to your lesson, don't bother to tell them off, or or get annoyed about it. Find out why. Because being on the online platform can be quite daunting, can be quite uncomfortable, can make students feel shy, because some students like to see people. Remember, we are social beings and we're losing all of that. So the online platform could be a blockage for some students. So those are the things we need to be mindful of. Okay then, educator, take care. I wish you all the best. Remember, your purpose, your passion, and your mission. Your purpose, passion, and mission, don't lose sight of those. Because once you lose sight of those, you begin to feel and ask yourself, what's the point of doing what you're doing? Take care, guys. I'll see you guys later on when I'm looking at what's your win for today. Take care. Bye-bye. Thanks a lot for listening.